Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. This is the GWC Gamerswecare, and this is the ultimate Sandbox Experience. I am Deadeye. We're glad you're all here. We're going to spend a little time today talking with some content creators, some streamers, and watching some of their highlights, just kind of talking about Battlefield and see where everybody's take it on it is and what they think about it. The game just come out a couple days ago, and so we're excited to talk about it. Our first three guests, we're going to have LoganTheBrawler, we're going to have Ludaeus, and as we would say down here in the South, Lady Kerberos. We're going to play a little highlight clip from them real quick and let you guys see what they've been up to since the drop of Battlefield. Again, we thank you all for coming, and we are also doing a giveaway. That's right, we're going to be giving away 2 Ultimate Editions of Battlefield. Doesn't matter what platform you are or where you're at. So if you want to get entered into that, we're going to give that away. We're going to give the first one away after the second group. So make sure to jump into chat and type in !point Battlefield or !enter to enter into that giveaway. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to roll that clip of the first 3 content creators and streamers that we have, and we are going to take a look at what they've been up to.
Wait, what? No, what? No, what? No!
I'm feeling low. I'm feeling low. I ain't got much to show.
I guess no? He wasn't! What?
No! Until the spring wakes me from my winter hell. I've got candles and candles. Creeping to the upper cell. Hey baby, can you tell I'm not a criminal?
They're lagging again.
I want you to stay true to what's right for you. No matter who or know what will others say. Just find your way and try to stay true. Speak low, stand in your row. Try not to show, this life's a show. Try not to glow. Way down below, it's a lot of woe. And that's not a place where you would like to go. I've got cigarettes and brandy, which could come in handy if you just help me loosen up my hand grenades fuse. Baby, don't refuse my truth, but it's up to you not to choose. I want you to stay true to what's right for you. No matter who or know what will others say. Just find your way and try to stay true.
I just noob tubed the bloody heli. Oh, you got... What? No, that hit him on my screen.
To stay true to what's right for you. No matter who or know what will others say. Just find your way and try to stay true.
Makes the same.
Huh?
What's how chorus do the same?
It is like, yes, 2042 is a disappointment, but I need to play it a bit more. Maybe it will get better after the patch. If
Creep into your prison Hey baby, can you tell I'm not a criminal?
I mean, yeah.
Your choice is seminal. I want you to stay true.
I mean, that might be the case for me. I might just bring back for it. Like,
No matter who or know what will others say.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there it was, and here they are. You just watched them pull some interest and stuff. We're definitely going to be talking about some of those highlights, but we're going to let each one of these people introduce herself top to bottom, left to right. Logan, the Brawler, we've talked before. You've been on the show before. How are you doing? Tell the people about yourself, what you do. Let them know. We're going to be throwing some links up in chat so you can make sure to follow all of these lovely people here. Logan, how's it going?
I'm doing fine, man. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm Logan the Brawler, content creator, YouTube, focus on Battlefield, a lot of Battlefield. Been playing the 2042 night and day since it released.
Alrighty, and top to bottom, left to right, I am Deadeye. I accidentally got in the Zoom call. I'm not sure what's going on. And down in the bottom, we've got Miss Kerb. Tell us a little bit about yourself, when you got into Battlefield, what you do, where you stream, when you stream, all that good stuff.
Well, I'm Lady Kerberos. People call me Anna usually, or Lady or Kerb or whatever. I got into Battlefield with Battlefield 2, and my father introduced me into the Battlefield franchise, and we would play together. So ever since his passing 5 years ago, I've been playing in his name and in his honor every day. I love the franchise. I'm just really disappointed in this game. I have fun times and good times, but yeah, I stream every day except weekends. But yeah, we'll
All
see.
right. Well, one, I'm sorry to hear about your dad. That's
Yeah.
pretty rough. I game with my kids as well. My name on my channel is Dead and Sons. I have 3 boys, and I game with them, so I can relate to that. And Ludaeus, down at the bottom, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you stream.
I'm Ludaeus. Been playing Battlefield since Battlefield 2, although I stopped for a bit and started mainly with Bad Company 2. I create YouTube content and I stream on the weekends when I get the time. That's really about it.
All right. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the highlights. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. Feel free to chime in. This is an open discussion. So, if I'm asking Kerb about something and you guys want to chime in, don't hesitate to chime in. But what I loved when I was watching those clips, Kerb, and we spoke about this earlier, is you don't get upset. We saw in some of your clips there were some hit rate problems. There were some problems. You don't get upset. You just kind of roll with the flow. I really like that. Tell me, give me 2 things. One, something that you really like about this Battlefield, and then something or a couple things that you don't like. Maybe just a short list, because from what we're hearing, there's some things people don't like. So what do you got? What's one of your favorite things about this Battlefield 2042?
Well, I always say it's just a game. I want to start off with the laughing part. It's at the end of the day, it's always just a game. So you got to surpass all the bugs and all, the weird thing that happens, because nothing's perfect. Even in life, nothing is perfect. And there's no point of losing your sanity over a video game. Even though you do get upset with the game, there's no reason to. I'll be raging, and like 2 seconds later, I'm laughing. So it's all about having fun, first off. And about Battlefield 2042, I can list a lot of more things that is wrong with the game than actually things that are good about the game. But what I like about it, I would have to say, I like that it's modern. We definitely needed a modern game after 8 years. That's what I like about it. I think they could have went into a better road instead of 128 players. But the hit reg, the spread is horrible. I really enjoyed the beta of movement and gunplay better than the actual launch. But there's so much more problem, performance wise and everything.
Have you had any?
It's hard.
Have you had
Sorry,
any
yeah.
experience with the bloom? I've seen some talk about the bloom, kind of the random bullet
A lot. You
deviation
know
type
what
of
it
stuff.
is? It's I have like 85, 90 ping while I'm playing, and it's really hard with the bloom and the net code and the hit reg and everything that's going on. And I think, like, I found out a couple of days ago, I think their servers are located in London. There's no German servers, because in German servers I would have like 60 ping, and usually back in Battlefield 5 when they had the UK servers I would have around 80, 85. So I'm assuming they're London servers. I really hope they do come out with a German server so I can play with a lower ping. The blooming was like, the people that played early access in this game would know exactly what's going on, because people that played it on launch on Friday didn't experience what we experienced for a week.
They had
It,
pushed
it
out
was
that
so
patch,
bad.
yeah.
It was so bad. I was seriously trying to stream and not get a headache and dizziness because of the server lag. Like, I was constantly getting pushed back. And that since the update, the server lagginess and hit reg is a bit better, but you still get that bloom when vehicles like hit you, or you're getting stuck to the ground, like you can't move.
Yep. Now, do you play just Conquest? Have you played Hazard Zone or any of the Portal at all?
I haven't played Hazard Zone. I'm not really into BR games. It doesn't interest me. 32 players. It just seems like it's not interesting enough to play, if that
Kind of
makes
lacking.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm only playing Breakthrough because the maps are so huge that I don't want to run like 4 kilometers to cap objectives in Conquest. Vehicles are very overpowering. It's very hard as an infantry player to actually play this game. And I did go and try Portal 1942 Rush that they had, but the spread was even worse than in the game. Like, I played 2 games and I'm like, oh, no, this is not for me. And I tried the custom Portal servers. They After the boosting that they were doing, no one wanted to play. Like, the servers were empty, and I'm like, I'm stuck in Breakthrough one mode, playing the same map, because sometimes they would put me 5 games in a row in the same map. It was just annoying.
I was very surprised that they don't have the ability to select. When you're just playing regular, outside of the Portal, to select what mode that you want to play. I find that a little odd. Basically, if you see a map or a mode that you don't, or a map that you don't want, you have to back out and try to get in again. We're gonna jump over to Logan now. We know he can't complain about the hit reg because he didn't miss with that shield. It looked like it landed every time. He's swinging at somebody now. And then that hovercraft, they just had no idea that you were in that hovercraft. The only criticism I would have is that you didn't drive it straight up the building like I've seen. But you may have after the clip, and we'll just say that you did. We'll say that you did after.
Yeah. Let's say that I did. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then you got up on top and did the same thing all over again. Kind of the same question. I'm real curious to see what you guys are liking, what you're disliking. I mean, we all kind of know. We're in the community. We see what's going on. We kind of know that there's a lot longer list of things that are being disliked. But I like to get both sides. What do you like about this Battlefield, and what do you not like? And yeah.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, when I got into the game first time, when released early access, I was amazed how big it was, and the opportunities with the specialist that you can actually, you can use that grappling hook, and you can use the shield. You really have to talk to each other in the squad if you want to play. Make the most out of it as a squad. It kind of lacks the community part, because I never play alone. I always play with friends in my community over at my Discord, and we can be like, 20, 25 people. And sometimes we like to sit like playing events and just sit in the same room talking to each other, but it's so hard to get into the same server in this game. So it's kind of useless just playing, sitting in the same Discord room, but playing on separate servers. So I would really like to see that server browser coming back, so you just can get in.
And
Because
switching
Portal,
squads too. Yeah. Like in
yeah,
game.
yeah, you can't really choose what squad you want to join. It kind of puts you into a squad where you got friends from your list, I think. So yeah, it works kind of that. I played an event yesterday. We had tons of fun. I think Portal is more stable than the All Out Warfare. I'm one of the lucky ones that after the patch, my game went to being not flawless, but it's really, really good when it comes to performance. So I got a lot of people in my community just complaining about stuttering, hit reg. I saw your clip there, Kerberos. It was, God, I would have lost it.
Oh, it was happening to me the whole week.
Oh, yeah.
This was my
okay.
experience, like every day.
Really? Okay. I just seen another video because I haven't really. I don't hit anything anyway, so I don't know.
Well, and it's hard, you know, it's hard to, I do a lot of sniping normally when I play, and with the hit reg being where it's at, it's really hard to really hone in, you know, your sniper rifle and your shots when you don't know if you actually made that shot and it just didn't register, or if you were off on the shot, you know. So it makes it difficult to really find that sweet spot when you have those issues there. You had mentioned something about the specialists, and I kind of want to get everybody's in here opinion on that. You know, there's a lot of people talking, and I agree with this to an extent. They really deviated from Battlefield's traditional, you know, classes, which really was it lend itself to teamwork and the team playing together. What are your guys' thoughts on that, on the specialists? Do you like it? Would you prefer it to be back the other way where team play was accentuated, or do you think that team play is still achievable here? It just takes a little more work. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I like the
I'm going to
specialist.
try them. Yeah. I was going to say, I also like them. I still think they could do with some work. Maybe, like, because they technically already have sort of done it, they've already separated them out into like assault specialist, support specialist, and recon specialist. What they really need to do is the way I think they can fix the teamwork aspect is to lock certain gadgets to certain specialists. So therefore
Yeah.
you have your team play. So if you're playing an assault specialist, you have access to your explosives. If you play a recon specialist, you should have things like the spawn beacon and the motion sensors, and you know, as you know, support, you can have like the ammo and the health and all that kind of jazz. I don't know.
That's a great idea.
I think that's a way they can balance it and kind of bring back that 4-class system and still have specialists.
Yeah, Flackfire put a video out, or no, it's Jack Frags put a video out, and he was saying something similar about that. What do you think about it, Kerb?
About the specialist?
Yeah, about not having necessarily classes now as far as medic, assault, you know, but having the specialist the way they are.
I don't mind not having each class. I know a lot of people are very negative towards it. I mean, I like my freedom that I can be like a medic with a sniper or something, but like as gadgets go, I would like the recon would have the sensor gadget Pokemon ball, instead of everyone else can have it and spam that. And like I can see on the ground sometimes like 20 of the sensor balls on the ground, for instance. I think there's some gadgets that should just be with their specialists, and then you could still like play whatever gun you want. But I feel like even though the specialists are, it doesn't feel like like people that play alone like me, like I don't really play with friends all that much. It's a lot more difficult to play the game and try to take out, you know, infantry or vehicles and so forth and so on.
Well, I did like that. One of the things I do like about it is that as a sniper, you can get the C4, C5 now,
Yeah.
which was something that they had back in, you know, in Battlefield Bad Company 2. And that's where I did a lot of sniping. And it was always nice to be, you know, you'd be at a perch somewhere sniping, and then, you know, you have a tank roll close to you that has no idea that you're there. You're able to, you know, jump down there and do something about it. So Ludaeus, in your highlight there was some really good stuff. The noob tube on the chopper, that was pretty impressive. But one thing I was curious about, because I didn't really see it when you were in the crates there on the snow map, and you were just all over those people like a fat kid on a cupcake. Did you use the sensor ball right before you
I
went in
did.
there?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
I
yes,
thought
I did.
so. You were just you were all over them. So definitely, same question to you. What do you like about it? What do you dislike about it? You've already mentioned some of the stuff that you would like to see changed. Kind of elaborate on that.
Yeah, this is a difficult question because there is actually a lot I like about 2042. Like I do like sort of the freedom you have, like them like unlocking like the weapons so everyone can use whatever weapon they want to use. I think is that was a step in the right direction. Um, I still think that 128 players is maybe not the right call. I feel like it's either there's a whole lot of nothing or like there is 64 players on a single objective. It kind of there's like no in between, in my opinion. It's like you kill one person without, if you don't use a suppressor, that is, you kill one person and you have 14 people rushing you. It's kind of a bit like iffy in that kind of regard. Again, like everyone brings it up, like the hit reg performance as well. I mean, I basically bought a new computer just to run this game at a decent frame rate, and I am struggling. This computer is still struggling to get like a decent, consistent frame rate. But I'm wondering if that's because there is, if people didn't know, there is a memory leak with Battlefield 2042. So the longer you play it, the worse performance you get. So you've got to restart the game every so often.
Is that a current thing that's going on?
I think so. Yes. Like when
See,
I was
I
playing
noticed that.
yesterday.
I noticed that as well. I have a pretty good computer, and when I played the beta, um, I mean, I'm pretty decent. I'm not a major top tier, but I'm pretty decent. I do well. I'm normally killing two people before I go down. And in the beta, I was just getting doo-dooed on, and I could not figure out why. And I was streaming the whole time. And then one day I got home off of work, and I was like, I don't feel like streaming. I'm just gonna, and I was wrecking people all of a sudden. I was like, oh, this is better. And then so I fired up my stream and I started doing terrible. I was like, what's going on? And at that time I was streaming from the same PC that I was gaming from, and I've never had that problem before. And sure enough, just due to the issues with Battlefield, it was causing in-game stutters and lag. And so I actually took an older PC that I had and hooked it up and did the dual PC thing, and that helped out a lot. But I was very surprised about that, as well, about the performance issues that it had. Moving forward, what if you guys could pick, and we'll do this one at a time, if they could change, if you could tell DICE or EA, hey, you need to change this, what would it be? Let's go with Logan first.
Whoa. Okay. Kind of the obvious one. Many people are talking about the scoreboard. That's actually what thing I would think about. But performance, I just assume will get better. That's why I say scoreboard.
Right. What about you, Kerb?
It's hard to pick one. I would say they need to be more consistent with their content. Adding more servers to the official servers like Rush, TDM, smaller Conquest, infantry modes would be my number one, other than fixing hit reg, gunplay, not having guns to play because only like 3-4 guns are playable at the moment, but I'm sure they'll fix that. More game modes, smaller.
And what about you, Ludaeus?
One thing to fix. I would
Or
change.
change.
Or one thing to change. Okay, but it would probably, for me, it has to be the one thing which really grinds my gears is when, I'm not sure if it's just helicopters. It's basically anything which is like a high caliber, like 30mm auto cannon. Whenever they shoot you, you get stuck to the floor. You cannot move, and it's the most irritating thing. That to me is number one, I think.
That would be your one pet peeve. So
Yes.
I'm seeing a lot of people in chat, you know, they're talking about the release of Battlefield and how it's in a poor state, and how that is kind of, you know, that's kind of how it seems as though that's kind of how things are done, you know, nowadays. We get games and you know, I mean, showing my age here, but used to, you'd buy a game and you just pop it in and play it, you know. Now I mean, you almost can't even have a standalone system and buy a game. You almost have to have internet to download the first update after the game comes out. And used to, the only update you had was how much spit you blew into the cartridge. You know, you just update the amount before you put it in. But the question for you guys that I would ask is, and I have an interesting take on this, because I play a game called Star Citizen. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but that has been in alpha for like 10 years. Like it's an open alpha. They're building the game while we're playing it. And I'm extremely impressed with their transparency and their roadmaps and things like that. How do you guys feel that EA and DICE are handling the launch of this, as far as pushing out patches, as far as addressing issues and concerns? How do you guys feel about it? Let's go with Kerb first.
I don't mind it. I mean, like back in the day, we would buy like the CDs. Like for instance, I would say BF3, right? You would buy the main game, and then the DLC would come out, and you have to buy the DLC and another DLC. You have to buy that DLC as a CD and put it in and update the game. I'd rather just get the code or download it from the site or whatever, and just have the updates downloaded. And I don't mind that.
What about you, Logan? How do you think they've handled the launch thus far?
Yeah, I must say that I'm pretty impressed by how quickly they actually removing things and fixing them. We got several things already. The shield, the UAV1, I believe, was overpowered. That sensor ball, I don't know really what I can't remember what they fixed, because I didn't use it before it got fixed.
I think it was causing lag. It was causing a bunch of frame drops and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm pretty impressed by how they're handling things, and they're not quiet. They started the new Twitter account, the Battlefield Direct Communication, and that's a great way of doing it, because the radio silence is torture for people like us, like digging for news every day in every corner, you know. So that's really, really good.
What about you, Ludaeus? You feel the same way, or?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Logan here. Like since launch, they've been very quick. They disabled Dozer Shield almost immediately because they found out that it was fundamentally broken, and then obviously they found out that the motion sensors were causing the rubber banding issue, and they've been like obviously following the. Not everyone obviously has Twitter, but following their Twitter page, the new Battlefield communication, it's been actually really good, because they're literally telling you, it's like they've gone, this is an issue, we're looking into it. It's like our back end, or like this may require a client patch, and they've been very, very straightforward with us so far, and I can hope they can keep it up, because they in Battlefield 5, I kind of feel for the community team there, because they were trying to scrape for information to give us when there was that long periods of silence from DICE, and like now it seems to be the opposite. They're literally just throwing it at us. Like we're aware of these issues here. This is what we're going to do. And as long as they can keep up with that, like I think we're going to be in a good time, because having a good time. I'd also like to highlight the fact that since the day one patch, which came technically a day early, the server performance has definitely gotten much better. Like I haven't had any problems with server performance or rubber banding. But I'd also have to agree with Lady Kerberos here as well, is they definitely seem to have removed the Germany servers, and everything is in Ireland, I think, not the UK, not London, because they were actually spinning up the Irish servers back in Battlefield 5 towards the end.
Yeah, and I saw that.
I get a much higher ping on them. So, I mean, on the German servers, I'd have about 30, 35 ping, and now I'm getting about 40, 50. So... which
still
is
better than 90.
Oh yeah,
that
is true, and I feel for that, because I mean it was like the same. It kind of feels like, it feels very weird, because like in Battlefield 5, they also removed the loader service from a lot of areas. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with that.
Well, they better bring German servers back, because there's people that are like on my side, like even Turkey, and Balkan. Well, they probably get better ping than me, but it's kind of rough having those kind of pings plus hit reg.
Yeah, plus the hit registers and the high ping, it makes the game much more difficult.
Oh, so much.
Well, and I agree. I agree with the way they handled this. Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5. I was in the position where we needed information to know how to move forward with what we were doing, and it would just trickle out, if at all. And they have been handling this one a lot better. At the same time, with the state of where gaming is right now, I'm of the opinion that they should aside from DLC and stuff that is planned above and beyond the base game, that game companies need to quit saying, hey, here's the game, we're releasing it, here it is. They just need to release it in beta, hammer out the bugs in 4, 5, 6, 7 months, whatever it takes, and then say, all right, here it is. Bugs are hammered out. Here's the game. Here's the full release game. Boom. There you go. And it's one thing to release a beta and test it and play it and know there's going to be bugs, as opposed to, releasing a quote unquote finished version and then, it's plagued with all of this. Now, obviously releasing a finished version and having a couple things here and there, that in my opinion is acceptable. But when it's just plagued with stuff, it's like, this is not a finished version, and that's what gets people upset, that they spent money on something that is, broken. It's like, you buy a car and the wheel falls off, you're not happy about it, and so I do love the fact that they're handling this a lot better. And I think they are. I think the amount of information, especially on the game changer side, we're seeing a lot of stuff come out that's going right out to the public. And so that is it's really good to see. I'm going to take a minute to remind everybody in chat, if you're just getting into chat, we do have a giveaway going for the Ultimate Edition of Battlefield. Doesn't matter where you are, what platform. To enter that, you're going to hit ! Battlefield and ! Enter. And also, if one of our mods, make sure you throw up !1 and follow all of these lovely content creators here. We've got about 30 minutes or so left to go here. And so the next question is, and some of you may not be able to answer this, as Portal, there was some XP farming going on, so they made some changes and did some stuff over there. But I'm curious to know, if you were going to run a Portal server, what game mode, what would it be, what genre and everything? And we'll start with you, Ludaeus. If you were going to run your own server, what would it be? What would be your ideal game mode, player count, map, so on and so forth?
I mean, that's a very difficult question. If I was to run my own server, funnily enough, I would love to just have a 100, just go for the max player count, 128 players, and I'd just like to have every single map that's ever been put into the game. So the 7 from the base plus all the Portal maps, and have every single weapon available and have at it. So if you want to be like, I don't know, say you jump in, you play Battle of the Bulge. Do you want to spawn in a jet, or do you want to spawn in a Stuka? Do you want to have a Sherman, or do you want to have like the new Ripsaw, for example? It's like
a cross-generation battle.
Yeah, just a cross-generation battle. Everyone has everything. And obviously that will have its own problems. But if I'm correct, the Portal does allow you to have it balanced to a certain game. If you wanted everything to run, have 2042 damage models, you can have everything with 2042 damage models. And all right. I don't know, to me that just sounds fun.
that does sound pretty fun. What about you, Logan? What would your ideal game mode?
Yeah, I'm a conquest guy, so I would say that I will take all the older maps, not the 7 ones that we got with 2042. I gotta take the older maps, especially like 1942, that really bring back memory, when nostalgic time when you get into those maps. put Edelamain and just play at it with everything. Yeah, like you, Ludaeus said. But I think I would prefer to have just the 2042 soldiers and weapons, and just see how they will do with the gadget specialist on, let's say, Caspian border, and see what can I do with a grappling hook here that I couldn't do in Battlefield 3. So that's kind of, yeah, getting up on things. Oh, here's an Easter egg, that kind of thing.
This is kind of a dirt
full
road here, but
sandbox.
have you seen
Yeah.
that you can grapple onto smoke clouds?
What?
Yeah.
Yes,
You can grapple onto smoke, like if a bomb
Actually-
comes down or a plane shoots some hellfires and it puffs up a big smoke cloud, you can grapple to the middle of that smoke cloud.
I didn't know that.
Actually-
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a feature.
Yes, actually, a fun feature with that as well is I've actually
Next
accidentally
generation.
killed some friendlies with smoke grenades. Apparently, it acts as like terrain. So I went up one of the skyscrapers on Kaleidoscope, and obviously they're going to camp the elevator. So I threw a smoke grenade in the door as it opened, and apparently I killed all 4 of the people in the elevator with me, and I survived. I have a clip of it somewhere. I was like, oh god.
I saw a guy early on in the beta grapple and kill a pilot out of a chopper.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. I tried it.
Oh, can you not? Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
I
that.
tried
That
it.
was in the
Okay.
beta. He was up on the big building there in Orbital. So what about you, Kerb? What were your ultimate?
Well, I like Logan's idea. The second day of early access, I found a portal server, Battlefield 3 Rush, with 2042 specialists and guns, and I had a lot of fun playing that match. And since that day that I played it, I couldn't find it anymore. But I would do the same thing, do every single map that's available in Portal and do Rush. Like, I love Rush. It's one of the best game modes, in my opinion. Just add more maps from all the battlefields and add more weapons. I'm happy.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Rush and Conquest. Breakthrough's not too bad. If I was going to do one, I would do team deathmatch, robot dogs, and knives only. And no, speaking of the robot dogs, so robot dogs, tornadoes, winged suits, some of the new stuff that they've added in. How do you guys feel about those? Do you like them? Do you dislike them? Do you think they're overpowered? Who was it? No, it's a different clip. The tornado can be kind of disorienting, especially if it clips you through the bottom of the map sometimes. But what do you guys think about these brand new additions, the dogs, tornadoes, things like that? I haven't had a chance to use the wingsuit, so I don't know anything about that really.
Okay, I'll speak first. The tornado can be effective sometimes, like getting you out of a situation in that flag area where it's capped by the enemies. But I feel like sometimes where you want to flank and then all of a sudden there's like a tornado right there and it just sucks you up, and like you're trying to get out of it and it's like sucking you in. Like the one time I remember it took me like 3 minutes to get out of it because I just couldn't get out of it. It's also bad for performance wise because I feel like every time a tornado comes around or a storm or whatever, like my FPS drops to like minus 50 FPS than I already have. I think it's something that they shouldn't have added in. It's unaffected for me. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I don't really care for the tornadoes, to tell you the truth. Sundance is cool. I like her. I just wish I could fly her better.
All right.
Speaking of flying her better, someone in the community did just make a portal server where you can test your flying skills with Sundance.
Yeah, and he added like enemies, like rings
Yeah.
to fly through, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, really creative. And I'm actually like Portal is probably one of the best things they added to Battlefield. Honestly, you can
Yeah,
do
I'm hearing
anything with
I'm
it.
hearing some good things about that. Unfortunately, just like anything else, right at the gate, people start abusing it.
Yep.
And that's unfortunate. What about
Unfortunately.
you, Logan? What do you think about some of the new stuff, the dogs and the tornadoes?
I like the addition of like for on Hourglass, seeing that big sandstorm coming at you, it's so massive. It's real amazing. I think it's amazing. Tornado can be kind of tedious sometimes when it just, as you said, Kerberos, you want to flank and all of a sudden there's a tornado, you get sucked up and thrown way off. But it's cool to look at, and it was kind of one of those things that in the beginning, it's still the beginning, it's just launched, but people are just, oh, there's a tornado, let's go there. And in like 3 months, people are, oh no, a tornado. So kind of one of those things. The drones, the dog, robot dog, I think it's pretty cool to have. When you're flying like the drone that the Casper have, the dog shoots at you. The dogs are the only ones that shoot at you because the players don't see the drone up there. So that kind of giveaway. I think the robot dog got too much HP. It takes like 2-3 mags to take it down,
Yeah.
and that's not good. I think
Hey,
that will
you can
change.
stop it with the EMP, can't you? With the drone though, like the EMP, it'll stop the dog, won't it?
Yeah,
Or
I
is
found a
that-
more effective way. Just run it over with your car. It works.
Right. Right. Or that hovercraft. I've seen a lot of videos that hovercraft will just mow people down.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's getting nerfed, so that's good.
Yeah. So does the tornado show up in the snow map? I don't know. Does
No,
the
I
tornado show up
haven't.
in every map?
I haven't noticed a tornado in the snow map. No, but
I don't think Breakaway had one.
no, yeah, it doesn't.
Breakaway
No,
doesn't.
no.
Breakaway doesn't.
But
Doesn't
I
have a
feel like
world event?
they said that they were gonna make it less less tornadoes are gonna occur in the maps. But I feel like every time I play Hourglass and Renewal, I feel like it happens every single time that I play on those maps. No, and Manifest doesn't have a tornado either.
It does.
It does?
It
Oh
has
yeah, it does.
two.
Yeah.
It has
I've never
two, in
had
fact.
one.
Oh,
Two.
Right,
lucky.
so
It has two.
I'm from
Yes.
Oklahoma, and we have tornadoes here. We see tornadoes in real life down here. One thing that I kind of wish that they would have done was, made it a little more diverse. You're not often going to see a straight up tornado in the desert. You'll see, maybe some dirt devils, but a massive tornado like that. I think it would have been interesting if they would have, had some environmental stuff, where it's feasible. Yeah, have the tornado come in, but maybe on the desert ones, have a massive sandstorm come in that sweeps across the map and affects visibility, and maybe on another map, have an earthquake come in. That changes the terrain up a little bit or something. Just lift some things up and down. I think the blanket tornado across most all the maps is a bit much. As far as the feasibility of tornadoes, but then again, we're playing a video game with robot dogs, so you can't really
Yeah.
lean on the feasibility too much. But yeah, I would like to see, I think it would be neat for them to do something like that. Now, one thing I wanted to circle back to, and I know Kirby, you haven't played much of it, but I didn't get too much of your opinions on it, Logan, and Ludaeus, was Hazard Zone. I mean, that, to me, from what I've heard about it, it's kind of fallen by the wayside. I've watched a bunch of streamers played it. I played it just a little bit. I haven't played it very much. I've been pretty tied up. But what I'm hearing from everybody is it's kind of lackluster. There's too many bots. There's not enough action. There's too many of the data drives and things like that. It just, again, for anybody that played Battlefield 5, Firestorm was cool for about 3 seconds, and then it kind of flopped. And I'm feeling like, unless they make some serious changes to Hazard Zone, we're going to see the same thing, which is unfortunate, because I feel like Battlefield could do an amazing BR if they just pulled some of the pieces from some of the amazing BRs that we have, Apex and Warzone and things like that, and kind of took some tips from them and implemented it. And I know they're kind of wanting to go their own way and do their own thing, and say, hey, this is Battlefield's version, but I think they could do a better job. What do you guys think? Have you played it? I think, Logan, you said you played it. Ludaeus, I'm not sure if you played it, so go ahead. What do you think?
I've not played Hazard Zone yet, but I would. It's not my style of game, Hazard Zone. I've never been into like the extraction royale thing. I mean, I did play a lot of BR back when PUBG was like the big deal, and funnily enough, is I actually played a lot of Firestorm. I played a lot of Firestorm, and I actually really enjoyed it. I just think that as soon as Criterion handed the reins to DICE, it just died because they just couldn't. At that time, you could tell that DICE just did not have the capacity to develop Battlefield 5 and Firestorm. So that's why it got the one update and it was over, which is a real shame because Firestorm was, in my opinion, was fantastic. I had a great time.
Yeah, I played like 2, maybe 3, 4 rounds. So let's say 4 rounds of Hazard Zone. First one was we did like very good. We collected things, we extracted. Second, not so good. I guess we were playing against AI, the first one, because it was real easy if compared to the next one. Then we got killed and just moved over in the second one. And then we lost everything. And then it was like, I don't want to do it again. So yeah, but it really get the heart going, the game mode. So kind of like Firestorm. I agree with you, Ludaeus. We had a great time playing Firestorm. Actually got into Firestorm not too long ago. It was like one other squad in the whole world playing that. So we was always against those. And they haven't played anything else than Firestorm, it seems like. So they had like 16,000 wins or something like, I don't know. Yeah, but Hazard Zone, they can do a lot better. They can do something more, I don't know, more interesting about it. It just here's the game mode. Play it, do what you want.
Yeah, like I said, I only played maybe 1 or 2 rounds. I watched a lot of streamers play it, and I watched some, some bigger streamers because that's what they do when they release a game. They have some of these big streamers play, and I saw some some really good first-person shooters. Was it TSM Vis? I was watching him and a group of people playing it, and they looked like they were having a fair amount of fun with the bots. So that was one of the main things they were calling out. As soon as they would hit as soon as they would recognize that it was a bot, not a player, they'd be calling it out, and not really paying too much attention to the bots and things like that, and utilizing the vehicles, and it was they also just organically made sure they had various kits and classes. None of them were running the same, which kind of leads me to one of my next questions. With the classes being gone and now it being specialist, have you guys noticed a meta, basically, people running this class and this gun and these gadgets almost predominantly all the time? That's what you're seeing. That's the go-to for 90% of players. I see every one of y'all smiling about this, so I'm curious about it. And I'm going to call on a name this time. Every now and again, I like to leave it open just to mess with y'all. But we'll start with you, Kerb. What do you see the most of? And we'll see if it's the same with everybody or if it's a little different.
I mean, it's the peepee, the Bison. Okay. Everyone's running around with that gun, either McKay or Angel, because you have McKay with the grapple hook, you can go up anywhere, and with that you can either put the sensor, but what I do is like get smokes with ammo and then try to flank on around, but then again you shoot at 2 people and they all turn around, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, climbing up things I think is the most better thing that you can do, like having an advantage of climbing up things and having an aerial view,
getting that
and
high
then
ground.
Yeah, and then having Angel, where when you revive someone they have the armor, plus you can have yourself with armor, plus it has armor and supply together. So instead of having the ammo box, you have the armor and the supply that he hands out, and then you can have another gadget with you, like the rocket launcher or another grenade or C5s. So I think those two are the most played for me with the PP, because that's the only thing that hits people. So yeah.
All right, Ludaeus, what about you? Feeling about the same?
The
gun,
PP meta is strong.
People, using that
PP meta is strong. Also hovercraft meta, obviously.
Yeah.
But I would actually actually, funny enough, is just one thing I kind of didn't really think of is for me, whenever I'm on the battlefield, is always only Sundance and PP. That's it. Literally, that's it. Because everyone wants to wingsuit and have like 6 grenades. So, but yeah,
It's like Neebs on the Battlefield Friends. Did you see that?
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
what? Wingsuit? Oh, yeah. I'm coming back
Yeah.
in for that.
I have to admit, at the moment, I am not a fan of audio spotting coming back, which is obviously when you fire your gun, you're spotted on the minimap, which kind of means like you have to run a suppressor. And obviously, like Lady Kerberos said here, is like there's literally 3 guns which are viable at the moment because of like the way the weapons are working. And funny enough, is they're all SMGs. Like you run an SMG with a suppressor, and you're gonna have a fantastic time. Like you're just gonna kill everyone. It's kind of like, for example, my clip earlier on Breakaway there, I was using the PBX with a suppressor and motion sensors, and I just cleaned house. If I was using any other gun, I would have died immediately, I think. But,
What about you, Logan? You seeing about pretty much the same thing?
Yeah, I think it depends on what map it is. You say if you play Breakaway, I see more Sundance because people want to fly, and play Manifest. I see people playing McKay because they want to use the grappling hook, getting up on top of those containers. It's I don't know how long I played that got a streak the other day, like 20 kills on Objective C there, just like Spider-Man between the containers, and of course the sensor thing, using the PP, of course. It's so fast. But and same thing with the weapons. Some maps like Hourglass, when it's kind of more long distance, I often see the SVK instead, the DMR. So depends on the map, I think. And that's how I play. I don't want to use, say, the riot shield on Hourglass, running in the desert, just hiding from the sun with the shield. I don't know, but. Then I want to use someone else. And Angel, he's like the supreme specialist. He can do it all, as you said, Kerberos. You don't get rockets from the supplies, but if you got your squad mate with the supply crate and you got the armor for him, you can trade. That's the thing.
I was going to chime in here. It's also not even that, you can call in his supply drop and you can replenish everything at once. And I think that's why I've gravitated towards Angel. Is not only does he revive fast, so it gives everyone ammo and armor, but if on the fly I need to change class, I can change class.
You just have to get into that supply crate that you called in and just get out of there. You don't have to choose anything. Just press escape and you replenish everything.
Yep.
Yeah. It's pretty strong right now. But I
didn't realize that supply crate did that.
Yep, it does.
I'm not sure if it's intentional though, but
I want to add something. Sorry.
Yeah.
Logan saying about Breakaway and everyone using Sundance. The anti-armor grenade that she or it has, I don't know how she wants to be answered. Since there's a lot of vehicles and hovercrafts on Breakaway, and I feel like her armor whatever grenade does a lot of work and helps out a lot with that situation. I've been getting a lot of kills from that grenade, and I think a lot of people don't use it, but it does do a lot of damage.
I often use those
criticisms.
I often use that anti-tank or anti-armor grenade just to get the helicopters to use the countermeasure, so my buddy can use his AA. That's one way around it.
I was gonna say is like that's actually the main issue I have kind of with those anti-armor grenades is because they auto lock onto vehicles. You can just sort of throw them in the air and they will just automatically track a vehicle. It doesn't matter where you throw it.
Oh yeah,
which to me is a bit like, at least you should at least have to throw it towards the vehicle. Like the fact that you can literally see people just like spawn in and just throw them in the air and they'll just automatically track something.
Funny thing is, I had a tank
you don't have to lock
it;
just automatically goes.
Yeah,
you just throw it in there.
There was a tank in front of me, and I'm like, I'm gonna throw that, and it's right in front of me. Instead of going to the tank that was right in front of me, it was going on the other side to like another vehicle, and I'm like, no, I wanted that.
But that could also be the way that it's coded, because it probably has like a throw distance and then the arm distance where it then tracks. So if it's too close, it'll probably just go past it and then track something else completely.
I noticed that if you throw it at an enemy tank and the guy in the tank gets out, the grenade does not lock onto that anymore. It goes away.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, guys, we've got about 5 minutes left. We're going to get ready to bring the next group in. I definitely want to thank you guys for coming in. Your opinions and information, since you've been in the thick of it playing the game. I think it echoes across the community for the most part, but it's always good to hear different people's takes on things and everything. So again, I'd like to thank you all for coming today, for hanging out, for chatting with the community. Again,
Thanks
we're going to
for
throw
having
up a
us.
link to their stuff in chat there. And real quick, a lightning round. If you could give one piece of advice to a new Battlefield player coming in, playing Battlefield 2042, what would it be? Logan, we'll let you roll first.
Yeah. Be patient. It's not a finished game. It's going to get a lot better.
All right. Kerb?
Same thing. I tell most people to get like EA Play, try it out, see if they enjoy it.
That
and then
10-hour
buy the
trial,
game.
yep.
Yeah.
Ludaeus?
For me, I'd be like, obviously, again, be patient. It's quite a difficult game to get used to, but find something you enjoy and do it. Don't feel like you should be stuck with one thing because that's what everyone's doing. You find the one thing which works for you, and you do that, and then once you're comfortable, you can then branch off.
That is one of the things that has kind of resonated across all the Battlefield franchises, is the ability to go in there and, you'll hear people saying, oh, you want to use this gun and this kit and do it like this and do it like that. But then you can end up getting in there and doing something that you find extremely fun, and you're very proficient at it, and it makes the game fun, and it's things that other people aren't doing, and that makes Battlefield very interesting. Very interesting. All right, again, guys, thank you very much for coming. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're going to get ready to queue up the next 3 guests. And again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to give them a follow. Their links are there in chat. So, all right, guys, y'all have a good one, and we will see you guys next time.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Bye-bye.